What's up, guys? Today feels like a shop day. Let's get into it. So my only project for today is actually a gift. Me and my wife's anniversary is coming up, so I had this sign made. I need to paint this sign, but more importantly, I need to put together the little backdrop. Now, let me move this sign out the way. Now this is mahogany. I was able to score some really nice mahogany boards, and I need to glue these together, right? And I need to make just a panel out of mahogany. These boards are older. I got them last year as a gift. Kind of weird, I know. These boards on the end are newer. I bought them yesterday myself. These boards need to be planed in the little planer before I can even begin doing anything else. These boards will be planed and then they'll be sanded. They only need to be planed just a hair. Then I'm going to glue up the panels. Then I'm going to sand. So you'll see a whole montage for that. And once I get to a good stopping point, we'll talk about it. Alright, I apologize for the wind noise. It's getting hot in here, so I had to turn on the fans. But I am going to glue these together and make one big panel. The trick with gluing up panels like this is to glue one or two boards, I guess, together at a time. Worry about this third board after. So what I'll do is I'll make pocket holes from either one of these boards. Probably this board in, so it holds the two middle pieces, because the two middle pieces are free. So now I need to pick a side that I like. Luckily, these all look pretty much the same, but I do like that side. See, now I gotta match up, because this middle side is gonna go right in these middle letters. So I need to make it look a little bit more natural, so it looks like that side is going to be it. So I always flip them all upside down. And then I mark where I need to put my pocket holes. Some people do accurate like spacing. I try to stick with 2 or 3 pocket holes per board depending on the size of the board. So, one right here, one right here, one right here, one right here. This one's gonna need 4, right? One right here, and one right there. So these lines will have to match up. I'll make my pocket holes right here. Now, if you've never used a pocket hole jig before, I built a little station for my Craig main jig that I've been using, and it works out pretty well. You will need to set your actual pocket hole depending on the size of the board. Since we plane them are about 3/4 of an inch thick. So we'll go down to, you know what, I'm not exactly 3/4, so I'm going to go down to 5/8. And we're going to lock that in. We'll take this guy. We're going to do the middle pocket hole on this. My line is down there, right in the middle of B. Put it right there. Looks like we need to fill in just a tiny bit. Even more. Oh, too much. Perfect. Okay, then we take our special drill bit. and we make the pocket hole. What a pocket hole does is it creates a little divot inside there for the screw to kind of sit in. So that's it. Nothing too crazy. Cool, cool. I forgot one thing, and I am the biggest idiot for that. This guy right here is supposed to have a collar that stops it, right? So it doesn't actually blow through. It doesn't go through and wreck there it is. It doesn't go through and wreck my stuff. This has to be adjusted as well as this. There's an adjustment. I'm gonna put it on right now. We'll do a little time lapse. All right, now we got these guys kind of screwed in. Our board matches up pretty nicely, so let's get these screws. So I get the starter kit, but I also have tons of other screws. You want to make sure you get fine thread. These fine threads are for hardwoods, right? We're drilling two hardwoods together, so we want to make sure we have that. You also need the special square bit adapter, because this is a kind of a sharp angle, so you want to make sure it gets in there. I like to start my screws. Well, that one's the messed up hole, but that's okay. I like to start my screws in, so I don't have to worry too much about any kind of weird placements. Now, you want to be careful, because you're very possible to go through the other end of this board. I also take a little bit of glue, and I glue up the edge. Edge to edge is fairly strong, but with a little bit of glue it gets even stronger. I want to explain what I'm going to do. So you see these little seams right here. These are going to cause some problems. Not really a lot of problems, but we want to make them kind of look flush and the same. I do have a trick for that. So I take wood glue, and I've been sanding, so I have a whole catch full of that sawdust. What I do is I put glue along the seams. Whole bead of glue along the seams. Now you might just think, oh man, you spent forever sanding this. I did, but this glue is not going to be that rough. to sand. Then what I do is I lightly take some of this, and if I can get some, that's all gonna be blown away. And I just sprinkle that sawdust. And you don't need a whole lot. You just need some. So now when it's kind of dry, I'm just rubbing in that kind of sawdust glue mixture just to get that color. And I'm just trying to get that sawdust and that glue the same color and then those small crevices, so it becomes kind of like a little bit of a paste, and then I let it dry. Right, it may seem like a lot of effort, but it pays off tremendously. And there's a little bit of a crack, so we're just adding glue. We're kind of making a little bit of a mess, and that's perfect. Right, but and soon when it dries, we'll be able to sand it, and it should match up a little bit better. Now this isn't a foolproof or 100% method, but it works pretty well. All right, so you saw me paint this sign. Now I need to drill holes. I found old screws that I want to drill the holes to match these screws. They kind of give like a little bit of a rustic kind of feel to it. So in order to do that, I will need to drill the appropriate hole that matches these screws, but it's not so big the head goes through. So I typically will find a drill bit that matches up, maybe one a little bit bigger, just so it can sit. Let's try with this one, then we'll see what we get. I'm doing it right on the edge. Do a little hole. Perfect. There's one right in the middle again. Beautiful. One more. Another one. That looks great, guys. Now we need to see if these, and it looks like they will go in pretty close. I have to do a little bit of a twist there, but what I also want to do is I want to do something called countersinking. So you saw me do that when we watched the montage of that chair doing that countersink, but I want to do a countersink a little bit differently to give it a little bit of an edge. So this right here is a metal countersink. You can also use it for wood, but it really works well for metal. So we put this guy in here and we do a slight countersink just to give it like a little bit of a rounded edge, so the screw fits in and kind of has a little place to sit. When we do that, and we'll kind of give it a little bit of a tap. There might be a little burr that's kind of affecting that. It looks like there is. So I'll take a deburr after this. But let's get these kind of countersinked out. You don't have to do a whole lot, just a little bit. All right, it's getting a little hot. So what I'm going to do is I had to finish this off camera, right? And you can still see some of that remnants from the glue. I'm going to try to use some mineral spirits to clear up as much as I possibly can. And then I'm going to use some mahogany resist-a-finish to stain so it evenly coats this whole thing. Then I will use some indoor polyurethane to kind of seal it, let it dry, and then I'll mount on the sign. Cool? All right. All right, guys, sign's done. Looks good after a couple screws, a little bit of protector. We're all set and ready to roll. All right, guys, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the next video.